It's very good. It's not to last that long.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried to kill somebody. She wasn't a good idea.
So, last time. Does anyone remember what happened last time?
So-
I turned invisible.
Now, last time we're at a temple that's being rebuilt on the outside of the town. What's her name? Was with us, but ended up in some sort of sarcophagus on an altar, and then that got sucked underground, and we're stood around going, WTF.
So you are the Adventurers Guild, otherwise known as Help the Helpless, which is not really a name but more a motto.
We're not a cult.
We're not a cult. That's the full name.
Help the
of
Helpless were not a cult, yeah.
Help the Helpless were not a cult.
Last time I was here was July.
Right.
Well,
Well,
you missed a lot.
I can know we're still not a cult.
the the four heroes known as Help the Helpless were not a cult Adventurers Guild. Was once accompanied by another companion, a dragon-born warrior, who went missing some time ago.
It's got 2 thumbs.
And
Quite a lot of teeth.
and the group just assumed that he had gone off to find adventures elsewhere. Since then, you have been rising to prominence in the city of Greyfell.
Who has?
Yeah.
We have.
Oh.
There's another
Oh,
cult.
yeah.
I mean, another cult.
Your little adventurers guild. You rent a fort on the outskirts of town.
Sweet.
It's slightly ruined, but you've done it up a little bit.
That's our manor, isn't it?
It's owned by a half orc called Badger, who you rent.
Do we not own it?
No, we're talking about the place where where we broke into last time.
You didn't break into it.
No.
I did.
No.
You climbed into an upside
Last
window.
time, you've been on a new city initiative was announced to tackle the problem of people going missing.
Oh, yeah.
It was called Project Vigilance.
Mm.
And you later found out that this was a series of arcane, magically animated warriors by these two wizards who apparently worked in partnership.
Mhm.
You decided that something dodgy was going on, and
You
We're
decided.
very astute.
You decided.
and you decided to investigate what was going on by randomly robbing someone's house. It happened to be one of the wizards.
He had his window nailed shut.
It was a perfectly valid.
Oh, no.
Guilty
that was
until
your
then.
fault.
that was your neighbour,
Oh, yeah.
Jeffrey,
Sorry.
who's a retired city guard member, who
Yeah, but why would you nail your window shut if you had anything to hide?
People smart.
maybe because he was afraid of thieves.
Weirdo.
I don't work out, did it?
It wasn't held that shut.
Oh, yeah. We went into his
We
house.
broke into the mansion.
Apart
Yeah,
from
the mansion,
terrorizing Jeffrey, you made your way into this mansion and you found, and after shooting in the chest, Lady Alexandra Dumat.
That was a good shot.
That's what matters.
Somehow you managed to convince her that you weren't hostile after shooting her twice. And you came to some sort of
Double tap.
understanding that her father had also disappeared. And it was in fact her father's partner who was the evil magician who was causing all of this.
Oh, yes.
So you went to his manor, you
Oh,
investigated, you found lots of people dead,
Yeah.
and you found that he was something of a necromancer.
And we
He
blew him
tried
up.
to kill you,
We blew him up.
and you took him out.
We blew him up.
He disappeared.
He blew up.
We didn't-
However,
we never found the pieces.
people are still disappearing. There is more to this mystery.
And you still got your bomb, haven't you?
Oh,
Do you still
fantastic.
have you got a note of your equipment from last time? I'm not quite sure what you had.
I did take a photo.
Bomb.
Okay.
Well, we can photo of
One
my
bomb.
equipment.
I took a photo of all the things.
Excellent.
Okay, good.
I think. Although again, new phone.
I don't think I used my arrow. Or
No,
did I?
you
Did I use
No,
my
you
arrow?
used your arrow.
I did.
You have a single arrow.
Oh,
No,
but
I had several.
That's a clever arrow.
He has a magic arrow.
Also, like Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm.
So, this woman that I shot is now a mate of ours.
No, but she's
she hired you, paying you the sum of 5,000 gold pieces to investigate the disappearance of her father.
yes,
She gave you a few leads
and some equipment.
and some equipment that Alan has a photo of. Which is
No, I've only got mine. Sorry, I was very
Well,
selfish.
very nice, Alan. Well done, you.
If you can remember what you had, then you can use it.
What did we have?
Immortality.
Oh, I had a bunch of potions, didn't I?
Oh, the head of disguise.
No, you had the flying thing, didn't you?
Did I?
Yeah, you could fly.
It's
Oh, yes, because he already can fly anyway, can't he? So I have the thing that lets me fly.
Do you?
Oh, I think
I
so.
don't think you do.
you had the spider claw thing.
Gloves of spider climbing, I think you've got.
Yeah, I had the
You're making shit up now.
No, I'm not.
I had a healing potion.
Check the
didn't I,
stream.
or something.
We'll check the stream later. Okay.
I think I had a healing potion.
Yeah, I think you do.
You've got,
All
you've
right.
got a pack of cards. I'll tell you what we have in the pack of cards.
Oh, we had cards.
Yeah, I had the hat of disguise. So as long as you haven't
You had the hat of disguise.
Yeah.
Nice. They took lots of pictures just of your own stuff.
Well,
What did you
I had the hat of disguise, and then I also took a photo of where we were at. So that was previously on. Thing. Oh, cool.
Okay. I think you've had stuff from here, but I don't think you've got all this stuff.
No.
We have now.
Haven't we?
No.
Okay.
All right. I think you've got a couple of things.
Did we have to hand it back once we used it?
No, it's yours.
That's all mine, I think.
Oh, you posted it, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So you accompanied Alexandra to the ruins of the Temple of Shalia.
That's the one.
Shalia is a goddess of healing. Her temple is in disrepair, and her father Malcolm was apparently refurbishing it in honor of his late wife, who was a devotee of Shalia. Shalia is a goddess of healing and rebirth.
Oh, mine.
I think that was yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen.
There's the slippers of spider climbing.
No, I didn't have that.
Robe of useful items.
Did Chris have those?
That's what?
Gloves of missile snaring.
I seem to remember you having those.
I have one other thing as well. Some potion or another.
You had a potion of invulnerability.
Yeah, that sounded like it.
Yeah.
We'll call that immortality.
It doesn't actually make you invulnerable. It just makes you resistant to all harm, but you can still take harm.
Semantics.
No. It's resistance in this game means you take half damage from things.
That was the
So
one.
for a period of time, you'll take half damage.
Oh yeah, so I had a robe of useful items.
No, you did not. The GM, give it. Right. So you got to the ruins of the temple and you fought these undead creatures. Cassandra herself disappeared in some sort of crypt and some sort of magical light disappeared down into the bowels of the temple. You had with you a staff and a bracelet that Vincent and Faust found in one of Malcolm's hideouts.
Oh my god!
No, didn't we key them into something and that's when she went down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the staff
They
in the
keyed them
bed.
in. She went down. She disappeared. You fought some bad guys, and now you have found the whole platform has descended into what appears to be an underground part of the
Let
temple.
me speak infernal.
It's
Again.
really dark down here,
Okay.
and as the platform descends, this area here is actually, it's not a hole, it's a solid diocese. There is a glowing, very lightly glowing black ball sphere just floating there. The staff and the bracelet come free from the two holes that they were in.
Right.
Okay. So we can
Baz,
have that
you
map.
also have a book that appears
So
to
the
be some
bracelet
sort of
allows
spell
us to
book.
talk to control the golem, doesn't it?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
it reminds me of that ball. Yeah. Yeah, the one in the library.
You can hear from the outskirts. Make a perception check. Actually, make everyone make a perception. Roll d20.
Thank you. Oh, mine are up.
Bugger.
Oh.
Earphones on.
Do you have a dice out?
Yeah, it's dice. I have a 10. Is that
You
okay?
can move that. You don't have to roll it in
brilliant.
there. That's
No, I
just
have a
down in
13.
the- All right, so add your perception skill to it.
I need my phone. I think it's in the book room.
Okay.
I'm going to put it on charge.
You probably won't for the rest of the year.
Perception.
I think I've passed.
I'm already in.
4 plus I got 9.
So 9. What have you?
I got 13 plus 6 is 19.
I got 7.
I got
You can
24.
hear
I
sounds
got
of.
24.
All right, you can hear the sounds of several humanoids.
I can hear the sound of several humanoids.
You can hear. What languages do you know?
Infernal.
You don't hear that. But you hear kind of goblin and orcish.
Goblin
you
and
can hear
orc, I know.
another sound that sounds a little bit familiar to you.
Oh, which is common and infernal, yeah.
Goblin, orc, common and giant.
What light sources do you have?
Oh, what happened to the torch?
Which one?
The one that you put down the pit.
Let's come out.
How was it?
I have a lamp.
Oh?
I think I have. Oh, no, I haven't.
Vincent, you are human.
Yep.
So you can't see in the dark.
Brilliant.
I have a tinderbox. Oh no, I have a torch.
The
you
rest
have
of
torch.
you,
Why?
the rest of you have a form of
Cheeky.
Tinderbox.
the rest of you have a form of
I have a
low light
torch.
vision.
I have
I have a
13.
torch.
You can see in the dark. You're an elf.
I have 13 torches.
But I have a torch, so I
Okay.
can give my torch to somebody else.
All right.
I have 13.
Hang on a minute.
How have you got?
You have 10.
Tools, I've got a drum. How's that a tool? Where's my inventory?
Here, Vincent, cash. I've thrown 3 torches. All lit.
Luckily, we were lit, otherwise this would be gone.
Equipment. there we go.
Vincent has the ability to cast magical light out of his hand.
Oh.
I think it's one of his cantrips.
Oh,
You can cast that at will.
oh yeah, got light.
Yeah, so
Alright.
you can.
So we can have a disco.
Big box, small box.
I don't appear to have any kind of.
So do you cast?
Oh, yeah.
I've got I do light, which where I touch one object that acknowledge in 10 feet in dimension. So I just cast light to the ceiling. Would that work?
Yeah. Okay. So one of the stones in the ceiling sort of lights up a bit like a spotlight.
Yeah.
There's a kind of blue sparkle that goes around the black sphere in the middle of the room. As the room illuminates, you can see that that caved-in area there goes into the darkness, but there appears to be a series of steel bars, like a cage has just been built into the wall, there and there. There's a
Well,
cage
cage
with
has
a
just
light.
kind of revealed itself.
The light has kind of, and then you can, because you've only really been able to see to the edge of the stone steps.
Oh, so now suddenly we can see these.
Yeah.
So these steps up. Steps
These
down.
are steps down.
Step down. So we've gone down into a sort of a. Just stepped into a sort of a pit
You stepped into the pit and
with
you
a
can see that
dais
there
with
is
a back wall
structure.
floating in it. And at the top of the steps, and those 2 points, the wall's broken down and there's some steel bars where
Yeah,
a
you
wall
can
used
see
to be.
there's steel bars there, there's steel bars around there, there's open corridors there, and here.
So
you can
which
hear
bit moved?
voices, those of you who made your perception rolls, from that side past the steel bars.
So
Torrin, I
Which
want
part
you
moved?
to
Sorry.
make a perception roll.
Am I there?
Make a perception roll.
Oh, great. 4.
Okay, all right.
What's your perception to add to it, though?
In skills.
4.
It's in skills, Darren.
I gotta reopen it. My phone's not having fun.
Cheers.
My perception in skills.
Yeah.
+3.
Woo!
You do the math.
That's
7.
I thought you only taught English.
Check it out. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Monster.
Master.
It's just a monster.
I meant monster.
Ah,
Right, so what are you guys going to do?
So we've got some noise coming from here. We're not hearing anything from that side.
No, not really.
Can we have a quick scope at these and see whether there's like any like gates or anything in these bars, or
Yes, you can. As you come closer, you can see that a wrought iron gate is fitted. These are not part of this structure. These appear to have been put in here relatively recently. You can see that there is a gate that can be opened with a key on both of those areas.
okay. And other things, if we have a quick scout round, can we see any other access points?
Make an investigation check.
all of us or just Jack's?
19.
As you sort of start looking around, Torrin, you can hear some scuffling from where you are. I'll explain more about that in a minute. As you start looking around, you can see that there are intricate carvings all around the outsides of the wall. They appear to tell some sort of story. You're not quite sure. They're kind of like it's not a language. It's just sort of pictures of great big, huge. It looks like elemental forces, like a great big thing made of rock and something made of fire and earth. That kind of thing. A little bit like the Sixteen's Chapel with an Etch-a-Sketch that has been sort of all around the outside of this wall. That has been really crudely disturbed on the areas where the bars are.
Right.
So this
Someone
is
has
just
really
put this
forced
in.
that in. This is quite recent.
Yeah,
It
so
looks-
someone's put cages into this space. Quite
yeah,
recently.
it's created like a jail doorway. Those areas there, you can see, although they go into the dark and they are pitch black, they appear to go. You can hear that they go forward. That there's some more.
So there
space
appears to
there.
be a tunnel or a chamber that way, as opposed to just
There
solid
appears
wall.
to be a chamber there, a chamber down there.
Right.
But you can't see anything else. There's no hidden doors that you've managed to find.
Okie dokie. So
I have lots of perception. So can I check the place out?
Hey.
Yeah.
I can hear something.
Oh no, you're not in a cell with Badger.
Yeah, what goes next to me? I'm more afraid of that right now.
okay. So
Suddenly, coming to the cell door, you see a familiar face. It is Badger. He is accompanied by two of his goons
Fantastic.
and a familiar face.
Hi, James.
Is that me?
Yes.
What the hell? I point to Gavin. Oi! You done stole my job, you did.
so they're inside. They're the other side of these bars.
They're the other side of these bars. Well, well, well. If it isn't my good friends, help the helpless.
So,
I'm not a cunt.
Oi, get the key and let us out.
Oh, so we're on the outside. That's good to know.
yeah.
Well, no, but that's not necessarily
Yeah.
obvious. You've got
No.
bars. You don't know which
Yeah.
side that you're on, do you?
What's in it for us?
Yes.
You have gone. You have been on massive bender for the past few months. And then when you went to sleep, you woke up in this kind of cave in a prison cell with these 3 half-orc type
Next week.
creatures
It's called a good night.
Who-
This time next time.
who have tried to hire. One of them is called Badger, and he said that he'll pay you 100 gold pieces if you'll be one of his new bodyguards.
Fantastic.
You have all your
Oh,
stuff.
Friday. Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay.
So we got wrought iron bars with a gate, with a lock. Badger and his mates. So what's your name? Tom?
You have not met my
Mogar.
associates.
Mogar.
My character.
And who are you?
This is Mogar. This is Quality. Say hello, Quality. Quality. And this is Red.
Naming
The
goals.
big thing there.
Right. Have I shot either of them previously?
They
It
look
doesn't look very
similar
red.
to the 2 that followed you before, but they don't look injured. So
Right.
this is.
And they don't appear
Badger's
to
BT.
recognise me or have any.
No, Badger recognises you, but
Well, yeah. Well, that's,
the other 2 they look like more of Badger's gang.
right.
So we need to get Mogar out.
Do we? I will fucking break your leg. I mean, I was
Whilst leaving
across the
Badger in.
table.
And keep Badger in.
I think we need to have a quick chat with Badger about what he's doing down there.
I'm all ears. Now listen, I bet you're thinking, how come I'm down here? Well, it's really simple.
Yes?
I happen to be here. I was wandering around with my associates. Next thing I know, I'm in a prison cell. Now that can be unfortunate, I know. But let's say you touch that big black ball there, mumble a few words, and maybe the doors will open.
Maybe.
Hi. Remember how this went last time for me?
Yeah, that did not go well.
Badger? Do you know the words infernal?
I don't speak any weird language.
Okay, what do we do? Do we let them all out?
Well,
I've
if
got-
there's a key, then there must be a.
If you
A lot-
want to ask him questions, you can ask him
Yeah,
questions.
so-
You don't have to.
I mean, we can always.
He's being quite evasive and he's being quite vague. That doesn't mean that he doesn't know why he's down.
I'll
Yeah.
try using.
I think that the thing for me is from a timescale point of view, they were behind us when we left our place that they were burglarizing. They were behind us. 2 of his mates followed us and then decided not to follow us. Don't know what happened there.
Yeah, neither do I.
So for him to get ahead of us whilst we've been there, something odd's going on.
I'll use.
So he won't have been able to overtake us, but he could have been transported there or gone underground to get there.
I'll use intimidation to go. And what were you doing down here then, Badger?
Very intimidating.
All right.
That worked.
So,
Plus 5.
So you kind of wonder. So the way that works is that if you want to be threatening, and I'll tell you if you need to make an intimidation roll, because you might be so threatening that you don't have to make a roll. In this
It's
case,
like in Black Books when he goes up to the.
in this case, you kind of muscle up to Badger, slip slightly as you're sort of going forward, and as you sort of shout out to him, you kind of sort of put your hand in your pocket and then stumble again slightly. He looks decidedly unimpressed.
Look, it's like I was saying. Probably we're on the same job, yeah? We're looking for this wizard. Ooh, everyone's looking for the wizard. Everyone's investigating. And look, I found something of his. And next thing I know, me and my mates, we're here.
What's he got?
Yeah. What you got then, Badger?
Well, before we get into that, perhaps you get us out of here. Come on, pick the lock or something. You can do something.
Hang on. I've got an idea. This could be brilliant. From the same mind that brought you slipping up while trying to be intimidated comes the sequel. Mysterious phone. That's
Oh, go on then.
oh boy.
I used minor illusion
To do what?
Just an illusion.
to make it appear to Badger like I've opened the gate.
But
He's going to walk towards the gate.
He's going to walk into it.
So-
Fucking hilarious.
Run at it like freedom.
Minor illusion is a cantrip, and what it does is make something that is very slightly obviously magical. So it's unlikely to fool even the most idiotic of people. I mean, it's like it
What
can
about
make yourself a little
prestidigitation?
crappy CGI mustache, or it can make like a red spot appear on something, or like you know the little holograms in Star Wars. It's that kind of thing. It's a minor projection.
prestidigitation might do that then.
Prestidigitation is a series of cantrip-like activities. You can snap your fingers and a flame appears. You can clean a picture, that kind of thing. So it's very minor magical effect. You can do that, but what it will look like is that the door, you might make some of the lock look a bit misty.
But hang on. No,
Okay.
I'll go with the because it'll be a disadvantage for Badger if he's trying to perceive it because it's dark.
Okay. Well, what's he
I'll
trying to
go
see?
with minor illusion.
All right.
Fake opening the door.
I just
I will make a perception check for Badger. 6. Well done. Well done. He goes to push the door. Hang on. It's still bloody locked. This is an illusion.
Just an illusion.
How to get yourself bludgeoned.
Could it be
on
that?
everyone.
Okay.
I still don't know what we're getting out of this deal, Badger, from us letting you out. What's in it for us?
Well, I've got the thingy I got from the wizard, don't I?
Yeah, I mean we could
Well,
just.
what a
kill him
thingy.
and take
We'll
it.
see that you could be bluffing. We don't
Make
believe
a
that.
persuasion check.
13 plus skills. Persuasion plus 10.
Oh, you're very persuasive.
Yes.
He pulls from one of his unmentionables a silver amulet that has this thing sketched into it. Look, this is what we found, all right? I grabbed it. It took all of us and him who was drinking in the local pub, which we don't really know.
Oh, it transports.
But we have one of those, didn't we?
It's
Isn't
the
that the same?
bracelet.
Is it the same design on the bracelet?
It's the same design on the bracelet. Yeah.
Right. So
How strong are the gate? Is the
Make an investigation.
12?
This is a low check. That it's steel.
Okay.
So it looks kind of steel, and as you look closely, you can see that although it's been very roughly put into the wall, there are several arcane ruins that are etched into the bars.
Right.
This looks like somebody who knew how to make magical items had put them in here.
Right. So potentially just brute force isn't going to cut it.
Or you haven't tried.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. What if you use a spirit?
let's have a before we do that.
Okay.
That's a quick check. How big's the space behind you, Badge?
It's a great big empty cavern, although there's some really nasty noises from up there. There's another cell.
Right. So the space do we believe that they're in there alone and there's no one else in there? Because what we don't want to be doing is
It's
opening the
letting a
door and
load
the
of
world
people out.
Yeah.
and the world and his sister coming out.
You can speak to Mogo. Mogo's there too.
How many are in there? Is he sober enough to tell us?
Yeah, he's sobered up.
Oh. Too light.
How many people are in there with you, Mogo?
That's like a perception check, or should I just say a random number?
You've only seen those 3 others, but you have heard what sounds like beast noises or dog or wolf or something
So I sort of guess.
coming from the cavern to the north. Probably a couple of it.
Only a couple. My guess was a bit off then.
Right, so as far as we're aware, the space they're in has just got the 4 of them in it, but there's other things in the other one. Is that
No. He's saying there's a passage to the
There's a
north.
passage to another one,
Oh,
but they might be still blocked in because they're not around them. And if we've just shone light this way, anything that could get there kind of should have come that
There
way.
are
I was thinking about just using a spiritual weapon to try and bust the gate down, but I don't know whether that's
to what end? What are we going to do when we get them out?
We're going to give Mogar a good bloody slap is what we're going to do.
Do it again.
Have you guys tried to open this gate at all?
We've tried to pick the lock. It does not seem to comply.
Right. Have you tried hitting it with something heavy?
Clarence, run at it.
you can, yeah.
Sick.
Make a strength check.
As you can see, it's open.
We'll keep going down that road, are we?
It looks. Cameron's illusion is the door is obviously closed, but occasionally the lock flickers. Okay, so it's like a static effect over the lock.
I've got strength 20.
I thought it was a bit of
So
parchment.
Roll your d20 and add 5 to it.
1. 2.
Okay, so you rush at the door.
You're not a better man, are you?
and you seem to have hit it at its strongest point because you sort of smack into it, and the whole thing, the rock wall shudders slightly,
Can't do it
but
again.
the thing seems in place. You take
Oh.
Don't give a shit.
2 points of damage.
Wow.
You do it again.
You got decked by a door.
Okay. I'll double
Well, we found Ron on the tablecloth, didn't we?
17.
Ooh,
Which
nice.
means that's 22.
All right, so as you smack into the door this time, the whole thing kind of shakes, and you can see some of the bars themselves that have started to bend. You take another 2 points of damage, and it's looking a little bit worse for wear.
Double or nothing with a double or nothing.
Triple down on the double or nothing.
You two, help him.
Oh, God.
Yeah, come on then.
Badger and Badger's two
Red.
friends, Quality and Red, are going to help you.
What
Are you
if
going to go again?
What if I great axe it?
Yeah, you can do that. You've got your great
Because
axe.
that would probably be more sensible than me running it.
Make an attack, make an attack roll.
How's that? How do I do that?
Just roll a d20
One.
and add your attack
One.
bonus.
One.
You know what? If you keep chanting for me to fail, I'm going to run at you with my great axe.
One. I'm really just hoping you
Where is
said
it?
Badger by accident.
If you look at your actions, so
Then-
if you open
Then we have no
everything up,
landlord. The place is
look at
ours.
action.
We get the place to ourselves.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about the rent anymore.
We can reinstate
13, so
21, yeah, that's a
21.
hit.
We can
Roll
reinstate
damage.
next Thursdays.
With this again.
The damage should be on the thing, so that's a d12 plus 5. That's a d12 and add 5 to it.
5.
10 points of damage. You smack into the actual lock mechanism. You bring the axe right down into it, and there's a spark of light, and the door breaks open.
Sweet.
It swings open. We should have done that before. As this happens, the black ball flashes blue, and an arc of lightning comes straight for it. I want you guys tell me where you were. Tell me where you were in the room, because you have to talk to them at the thing.
I was right at the back of the room.
Just out of reach.
Just like, right, Badger.
Where was I?
Yeah.
Well, we
This
haven't
is
spoken
me,
to
isn't
him.
it?
So you've
Yeah.
been doing just an illusion.
Yeah. So that's
And you
you.
were chatting to him.
Yeah, I
Where
was
were you?
chatting, so I'll be near the near the front as well.
Yeah.
That's
This
me.
is you.
Yeah.
We were just totally. No, but we were doing the perception.
All right. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. So I want everyone there to make a dexterity saving throw. As a bolt of lightning, yes, comes arcing towards you.
Because it always ends well for
Yes!
Prince.
4.
9 plus 2.
Yeah, what's your plus? Dexterity.
22.
3.
My dexterity is going to be
12.
like -5. Plus 2.
So you got 6. You got
12.
12. You've got
22.
I'm going to get new dice. It's 20 on each. Apart from 1, 1.
1.
Kevin, what did you get in your saving throw?
22.
You take 12 points of damage.
Oh, shit.
You managed to throw yourself into the wall and avoid the brunt of the lightning bolt. Alan, what did you get?
This is not good.
Oh
Oh, no.
This is not good. This is not. This
I
is
got
not good.
12.
You take 24 points of
Well, I
damage
think
as you
I-
take a full thrust of the
Oh,
lightning
shit.
bolt as it
You dead?
I'm nearly.
Not well.
Gust of wind blows you over.
If I tried
Oh,
to open
no.
the gate twice, I think I'd have been dead.
You two are, what did you get, Karen?
I got 6. in
You
total.
take 24 points of
So
damage.
that's 28 for the night.
Yeah,
So I'm
okay.
20.
All right, okay. As you sort of frazzle, Badger drops to the floor and sort of limbo dance thing, and the lightning bolt goes straight over his
No
head.
way.
It, however, hits Quality and Red, who twitch over dead.
Is that right?
Are you, I'm pretty sure you're bad. And you're just keeping him alive to be a part of the game. You want to be God and a character.
Okay.
I think I need to cure him.
Well,
can I cure myself? I can't, can I?
it was a single lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Is the door still open?
The door is still open, yeah. It's swung open. It's well off its hinges. Are you coming through? Yeah, of course.
Well, that worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I love it when a plan comes
You get
together.
up. Your hair is kind of standing on end.
Can I
Coughing back and stuff.
cure
Badger's
him?
getting up. Quality! Red! No! He starts going through their pockets.
Can I cure him?
Yes, you can. What are you going to do?
Use my cure wounds.
All right.
Do I
At
need
what
to
level
throw
do you
anything?
cast it?
Oh,
So you can cast it at different levels. You can cast it at first level. It will give you him 1d8 plus something back,
yeah, 1d8. Yeah.
plus your
GM.
wisdom modifier, which I think is 3.
By,
So
by any
1d8 plus
chance,
3.
did Red
7
So-
points to you.
did Red or
Oh,
Quality
hang
have
on.
1 HP?
Did
What
they
am I
have
looking
1
for?
hit point left?
Yeah.
I'll say they're both unconscious. You can stabilize them if you want.
hang on, I've got 4. No, do not
What
stabilise.
about me?
I'm not going to. I need to heal
Can I
myself.
just
We're gonna kill
go
him.
in here?
I'm going to kill him and use his dog wants
Well, can we
blessing.
just cure what's his face,
Okay.
Vincent first?
As you're healing Vincent,
Hang on, I don't know. Hang on.
he takes 7 points back.
7 points back.
4 plus 3 is 7.
Because 3 is my wisdom. Okay,
Wisdom,
that's
yeah.
all I just wanted to
Sorry, no
understand.
problem.
Okay.
So Faust approaches
I'm just gonna check on
Quality
the
and
food.
Red on
Yeah,
the
but-
floor. Quality is quite dead. However, unbeknownst to Badger, you
Relatively.
can
It's mostly
see Red
dead.
Fried.
is kind of groaning slightly. He seems very close to death.
Badger sharpening a knife.
They stole from someone else.
What do you want to do?
Let's go and check on the
Sorry.
No, I'm not that bad a person.
Oh, what are you going to do?
I was going to kill him because then I get 11 HP back. No, I'm not. I'm
You
too
let
bad a
him slowly
person.
expire. Okay. So you don't heal him, but you let him slowly expire.
Yes. Bye-bye.
It's not my fault.
You hear a voice in your head, Kevin, saying,
Fuck it. Fuck it. I'll just go.
Just the one.
Okay. Okay.
I just nudge.
You see that he is in pain, and you slowly release him to the next world. You get your hit points back.
Can't kill Alan.
Okay, so
No.
Okay.
I gave one
So
of them was
you've got-
apparently not
What's
really
going on?
dead, so I just kicked him.
So basically, the door's open.
We've got Badger out and Mobar.
Yeah, and people are sort of healthier than they were slightly.
well, that was kind of nasty, but I suppose he got the job done. Well then, I guess I'll be looking to find a way out of here.
Hold on.
Good luck.
Okay, so we haven't done anything to help them get out. So we can't really demand that he gives us his amulet thing, can we?
No, we didn't do anything. No.
You did.
Well, we can pull that back out, though. I just had to get out to the kitchen. That's what I put in. What did I do?
We didn't do that.
Where's the
No.
way out, lads?
Okay, so
Got to give.
I think you ought to ask for the amulet thing because you busted them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it.
Make a. Well, how are you going to ask him?
Intimidation.
Intimidation.
Until
To be like, hey, Badger, I single-handedly, without any assistance from anyone else, got you out of here, and that was my only motive, was to rescue you. So therefore, give me the fucking amulet.
Okay, make an intimidation roll. I'll let you make that with a +2 to the roll.
20.
Oh!
Crit.
As you say this to him,
Like a jacuzzi.
your
Just like-
dragonborn form rises to its fullest height, which is 7 feet tall. Your muscles flex and fire start to snort from your nostrils as you look at him and say, "Give me the fucking amulet." What? No worries. I'm just gonna. Badger
Okay.
starts running off. Yeah, give me Badger.
Where's he going to go?
Off on my own way out.
He just does business with the darkness.
He's running off into that. You can run after him.
We could just hurl stuff at him and see if it clocks him in the head.
Okay,
Did we kill Badger?
so let's have a quick recap.
Do you want to remove that paper with the dice there?
This one.
This one.
Yeah.
That way is now open.
Okay.
You can see in the distance there's another steel gateway that prevents access to the next chamber.
Okay.
In fact, it's not a gateway, it's a door. It's a solid door.
Do you know what? We're not having a lot of luck opening these doors with brute force and ignorance. So,
No.
I reckon we need to have a bit of a mooch around, see what else is going on.
We know there's some monstery things.
Yeah.
Or beastie things this way. We need to find wherever she went, don't we?
I think we need to have a bit more of an investigation about this black orb. Pick up a rock, chuck a rock at it. What happens to it?
I duck.
Not sort of generally. I'm not logging. To see whether it sort of it hits it, whether anything happens,
All
to
right,
it, whether
okay.
there's any kind of force field there, anything like
You
that.
kind of throw it, it hits it, scatters off.
As it hits its surface, or
It hits the surface, yeah, it hits the
Right.
surface.
but there's no kind of reaction
No,
to the
there
thing.
doesn't seem you didn't throw it very hard. If you
What
want
sort of
to throw
noise
hard,
does it make?
Huh?
What sort of noise does it make?
like
Stone on
stone
stone. Okay.
You can take a closer look at it if you want to.
What if we just take it?
It's floating in the air. You can try and take it if you want.
And where are we going
What
to
if
put
we
it?
threw someone at it and they catch it in midair?
You can try all of those things.
Okay, I have an idea.
Oh no.
I'm going
This is
to
not going to end well.
throw Cav at the ball.
No, you're not.
Well, we'll see about that.
Well, okay.
I say before. As I see it, do I have advantage? Do I see if
Make make an athletics check. You can oppose it with an acrobatics check.
Come here. Look off me.
Was-
You showed him.
He showed me Twitter. What have I got to check?
You roll a d20. He's going to also
What
roll a
was the thing
d20.
I've got to check though?
You've got to add your athletics to it. He's got to add his
Is that on
acrobatics.
scores? +8.
In fact, make a +8. Go on.
5.
Make an acrobatics check.
Falls flat on my face.
8 plus 3, which is 11. You've got 5 plus
8.
So, remember you got luck.
oh yeah, I use luck.
You use luck.
1.
Okay, so you rush at him, just about to grab him, and somehow he stumbles again. But this stumble allows him to nimbly dodge as you aside.
I say
And you
3
rush
words of
past
infernal.
Make a no, you're fine. So you stumble past him. What are you going to do? There are easier ways to investigate than using.
Close up look at this without touching.
Should I try saying something
As you,
infernal? 'Cause that worked so well
you
last
come
time.
closer to the ball, it is a black ball that's floating. There are several engraved runes
So it has got
around the
runes
side.
with it, no? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it appears to be obviously magical in
Yeah.
nature. You're not quite sure how it works.
Okie dokie.
I think
Why
I
don't you
should-
chuck your amulet at it?
Vincent, make an Arcana check.
Is that still a D20? Is it?
Yeah, you're the only one trained in magical arts.
Alright. 19.
Ooh, okay.
Do you need to add anything to that?
This you can see that this is a kind of elemental based magic, a lightning based magic.
Right.
You can see that as you sort of extend your senses and sort of focus on the ball, you can see that there is a channel of mystical energy that goes down from the ball all the way to the ceiling, and it connects itself to the exit points of this arena. Whatever it is, it seems to be tied to this room and tied to the mechanism to get up here and to the exits from this arena.
Right. So I tell everyone what I've just seen.
Right.
Okie dokie. So
So-
the only way out. So Badge has gone that way, and we haven't heard screams from him yet.
No.
No.
No,
Okay. So
that's a good point.
So the light you saw
Was up and then out. And all the
in
directions.
several passages. And
Right.
we know that each one of those is a way out.
okay. So the assumption that I'm making is if this thing is tied in to the various ways,
So-
anything negative we do to those is probably going to end badly with a big ball.
Oh, hang on, GM. You said that this platform descended, didn't you?
Yes. A roof closed over as well.
Oh.
Go on.
Although you could try and break through that.
But why are we trying to get out?
We're near.
But we're not really.
not.
We're trying to find her because she's got
Yeah.
to be here somewhere.
So if she's gone down, either she's continued to go below where we were, so what we're on has gone down, so whatever she was on is beneath
He's
her,
underneath us, yeah.
or she's gone down there and somehow she's been moved from there to somewhere else
Yeah,
subterranean before we got there.
yeah.
She was on some sort of. Take it. This is directly above where
Where she lay
where
down.
that sarcophagus
Yeah.
was.
That's where the sarcophagus was directly above the black ball.
Right. So as it's gone down, the floor level we were on has replaced whatever was beneath it.
Yes.
Right. So either she's underneath us, or whilst we were dicking around with the stick and fighting matey boy, something's moved her from where she was to
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
But does this look like it ever had any kind of sarcophagus on it, or does this ball look like it's been there a while?
It looks like it's been there a while. It does not look like there's been a sarcophagus, but as you look to see, you can see that dust and in the cavern over there, you can smell excrement that people might have been there for a long time.
Right.
You can see skeletons along the walls. People seem to have been chained up there from time to time. You see that this part of the facility
Yeah.
is much cleaner, unnaturally cleaner, as if somebody was vacuuming this part of the facility
Right.
and then just left the rest of it to rot.
So this part is being inhabited by not prisoners.
Vincent,
Hello.
you have used spells like this before to keep places clean.
Right.
Prestigation is a cantrip. In fact, you can do it too, Calvin.
Yeah.
It can clean an area around you. It's a very minor magical effect, but lots of apprentices use it to clean things.
Right.
So it looks like somebody has been using it to clean this area. or they have a vacuum cleaner.
So a magician.
It's magic, yeah.
Okay, so my current just thoughts on where we're at. If we try and get through there, we'll probably be able to break through it, but the chances are somebody's going to lose some life doing it.
Yeah.
And we don't know what's going on. We think through there, the only obvious way out that we can see is through another gate, which is probably not going to be too good, but we've got 3 other ways that we haven't investigated yet.
Right.
Badger ran off in one of those directions.
Do we?
When Badger ran off, did he look like he was just blindly running through the first place he could, or did he look like he knew where he was going?
Make an insight roll.
19.
He looked panicked and pale and wanted to do anything to get away from him.
Right. Okay, so I think Badger's just taken an option and run down it.
Yeah. But whatever he meets before we meet. So it
We've
might
followed, but to what advantage? We're not in any rush.
Yeah.
We've got rations. If we've done the divided as we stand, conquer we fall apart malarkey before.
Yeah.
If anybody's got no objection, I say we trot off down there.
Because 2 of us aren't at full health
All right.
anyway, so if we split up, it's going to be
So how are you walking down? You're walking down here.
Yeah.
We're walking down there.
All right. So who's first? Because you've got to go single file. It's a narrow passage.
and people who can see without.
I'll go
natural light.
first because I can see in the dark.
Should.
All right.
I think you should.
Okay,
I'll
you
go
two need to put your differences aside, all right?
Oh no, I meant because if Mogar can fit through any of the gaps, being the 8-foot-2 dragonborn,
Sorry.
that means that anyone should be able to fit through it.
That wasn't your logic at all.
It really was. Also, Mr. Sponge.
As you start,
I can see in the dark.
as you start walking this way, what's the marching order? So who's next?
I'll go next.
Who's after?
I'll go after. Yeah.
That's
Yes,
you.
mate,
And then we'll have Mogar and Vince.
Hang on. He said he'd go next. Instead, if they come from behind, they're going to get you first. So, if they come from the front, there's freedom. You're not going to get very far. I'm 7 feet tall.
Let it go. Jesus.
Oh.
As you start walking down the corridor, you can see that it gets cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. The stone, in fact, starts to look almost polished. You start to see it's becoming a more quartz-like material, and you start to see reflections of yourself in the stone, in the dim light that still comes from the black sphere.
So we're going into the bit that's inhabited by him, if the magician, if he lives there.
Either that or the
Are
maid.
you going to light a light source, or are you going to continue into the dark?
I have a torch.
How big's this passageway?
It's quite narrow, although it looks deceptively bigger because it is almost mirror-like as you go down.
I light a torch.
Do we have room to swing?
You can swing your weapons, but for example,
Yeah, weapon.
if the corridor stays that narrow, it's single file. But as you come down, you can start to see it break out.
Okay, so we've got room either side to swing weapons, but it's probably no more than the width of this room as opposed to a nice wide thoroughfare. Would that be fair?
Yeah, so it's about space for 2 people to stand in a combat line.
Right.
So you could, so as you've got there, the 2 squares basically represent roughly 5. So that's roughly 10 feet wide.
Right.
I light a torch.
You can kind of squeeze in there together, but in combat, there's room for one person to kind of swing. You light a torch, okay? As you go, you see forward. As you light the torch, you see flickering images of all of you, all down the passageway. The whole thing becomes like really highly polished quartz stone. The whole place is sort of mirrored reflections of you, and it looks a bit like a fun fair. Lots of distorted images because they're not. It's not a perfect mirror. So
Is the floor of the
the
similar?
floor and the ceiling, the whole thing looks
So
like
it's not immediately obvious what's what.
It's a bit disconcerting. It looks like there are people coming. You can see your group heading towards each other.
Yeah.
You can see Badger looking around somewhere and running. You can see one of the several of the images. You can see Badger looking around and running.
Okay. I suggest we turn around and go back down this one. Anybody?
Yeah, go on.
Right.
Can we try and with the handle of a sword, try and just etch an X in the middle of the floor?
In this floor here.
Yeah.
Yep, you can. So you take what do you try and
Something large and
Sword?
metal. Yeah, it's a weapon, but
Yeah.
basically I just wanted to scratch a mark that's not going to go distant.
yeah, you scratch a mark into the stone.
Okay. So I put a massive great J in the floor.
All right, and you can see around. You can see the reflection of that J in different places, but it's obviously where you're standing.
Right.
There's an actual physical mark.
Fantastic. Okay, so
You guys turning around and going into there.
yeah, and then in the same order coming down that passage.
Right, as you start coming through here, you can see again. This is all polished stone.
Right.
As soon as you come through here, and in fact, as you get into this corridor here, along the edges are what appear to be statues. They're not lining the corridor, they're kind of like just in the stone.
Right.
Are they statues? Can I run a perception check? Are they
Yeah,
statues or
roll
are they?
roll a d20.
For this?
No, that's d12.
This?
Yeah.
15.
You-
Plus my perception is quite high.
You get closer to the wall and you study very carefully the features on the statue. It appears to be like in the stone, it's just like somebody's face is carved so that it's just their nose coming from it. It's kind of like textured effect. You study it quite closely. Make a wisdom saving throw.
With a d20?
Yeah.
20.
Ooh.
You start to feel as you're getting very closer, you start to feel a compulsion to put your hands towards the stone. And then suddenly something in you feel danger and you step away back towards the others.
That's not good. There are
No.
people in that wall.
Yeah. No, I agree. Does it look? Can we see the J reflected anywhere from where we are?
You carve the J back here,
Yeah.
and as you look, you can see there are. It looks like there are. You've got to really focus to remember that you put it back there, but you can see reflected in different images the flagstone of J. And if you're a ranger, part
Yeah.
ranger, so you can kind of get a good sense of direction. But somebody else might think that the stone that they scratched was actually down that way. So
Right.
it's very disconcerting, and it's not quite.
There's still no sign of badger.
There's no sign of badger now. Now that you've gone down this way, there's no sign of badger.
So should we try and go down this way?
Okay, so the badger we may or may not have seen, may or may not be, because he was running blind, so without any light. So if he's touched one of these walls that you don't want to touch,
He could be in it. Yeah.
there's a possibility that he's been absorbed into the wall, isn't there?
Yeah.
So what we saw was a possibility of badger going down there. To what end? We don't want to be anywhere near anything that's going to suck us into a
No,
wall. So
really.
yeah, I agree. We come. Anybody
Come
object
the
to
other
going
way?
back down?
Yeah.
So we back it up into the main chamber and head
This way.
east.
Why have I got a bad feeling going down here?
I have a feeling we're heading towards the dungeons.
Oh yeah.
All right. If you take those that piece of paper away and the other piece of paper. All right. So that passageway is not polished stone. It looks like normal stone.
Right.
And in fact, probably
That's
that's
about
that. That's fine. Just
Okay.
leave that there. You haven't seen that bit.
Okay.
Sorry, darling.
But that looks like a normal stone passageway. In fact, you can see light ahead. And in the distance, you can hear a faint whimpering sound.
Okay. That sounds better.
Yeah,
Um,
it sounds like a.
can I do a perception check to see whether it?
Are you making a perception check?
What I'm trying to perceive is whether we're looking. What we can hear is an individual or a number.
Yeah,
of,
roll. Yeah.
which did Jack or.
You can hear was definitely a female human voice ahead,
Okay.
or half elven.
So far, I say we crack on and see what's down here.
Yeah.
Anybody object?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Nice,
Let's
yeah,
go down
marvellous.
this way.
It's all clear. It's quite a wide open space.
So we go in. As we go in, we fan out. Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll work.
You step forward into a much larger room. Along the walls, there appear to be sunken cubes into the room, a bit like a mausoleum, so like this. So there's tombs and there's bodies inside the. It's a crypt, basically.
Okay.
There is a
Sorry,
That's all nice to see. That's all good.
There is a raised platform in the distance, not quite on that picture, but there's a raised platform in the distance, some steps that go up onto a stone diocese, and on top of that are a series of small gargoyles that are all turned in,
Facing inwards.
facing inwards. In the middle of that, all the gargoyles are kind of lightly lit. You can see a body. A young woman who's lying face down, wearing the same clothes as Alexandra. She's lying down in the diocese. I would say it's not Alexandra because you can't see her face.
But the gargoyles are.
The gargoyles are giving off some sort of soft white light.
Soft white light. Are they illuminating or are they illuminated? So if they
are
weren't there, did we get
illuminating,
the?
They're letting off light, and
And
that
is that-
light is focusing around
Oh.
Alexandra.
Right.
But
it's
is it
something.
that light that is illuminating the space we're in, or is there another light source?
No, that is the light source that is illuminating the space. That's
Right.
the only light source that we've seen down here, apart from the black ball.
Okay. And have these gargoyles done anything at all?
No, they're quite small as well. They're about this size.
Can I run an investigation?
What are you going to look at?
Those gargoyles.
You're going to have to get closer to them to inspect them.
Okay.
Right. So there are 4, and it's under the teapot, unfortunately.
No. No misfortune at all.
So those things on the ground are this thing.
So these 4
That's
here,
the
yeah?
raised platform,
Right.
and you can see those 4 gargoyles. She is towards the rocky, broken-in area over there. So there's a cavern that you can see down that way as well.
But there's a raised dais here.
That whole platform is the raised.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
these
so
are the steps
so
up.
she's just lying on the ground face
She's
down.
just lying on the ground. In fact, I'll give you a miniature for her. You put her down over there.
Here?
She's in the next to the.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Okay. So, and the gargoyles are facing her or facing
Yes,
us?
they are facing her.
Okay.
Should we try and see if the gargoyles are attacking? Will attack us if we go in there?
Or just checking
I
her.
want everyone to make a stealth check.
Oh, there's traps.
Yes, we're sneaking up on the trap.
Yeah, yeah.
13.
Ooh. 9. Ooh, no, it's not. 19.
Plus 6.
9. Oh, what is this? What are we doing? A what check?
Just to
Stealth
see
check.
how quiet you are.
Just double check.
Okay, 9 and 8,
16,
17.
15 in total.
25.
I throw the wrong dice.
Yeah.
19 in total.
It's 18 in total.
Okay, 18, 19,
17.
17,
25.
25.
16.
All right.
With
You are
You
so quiet.
We don't even know where.
What'd you do?
Yes, I mean, what?
I got myself one of them there Warhammers.
What?
Get out. Get out. Escape. While you
Okay, but how are we going to get out?
How are we going to get?
can.
So there's two things I've thought of so far.
Are you talking? to-
Yeah,
No,
we're
no,
all
no, no,
talking
no.
to
This-
each other. Oh,
Okay.
No, so
You can step back and have a conversation
Yeah,
in the other room.
let's all right. So where I think we're at, we can try putting the amulet and the staff back in the holes that I assume are still there because we took them
Yeah,
out.
it's
Of
still
them.
there, yeah.
See if that is like a lift and reverses. We can try and approach her, even though we've got this get back going on,
yeah.
or we try and approach her from another direction. So direction-wise, that would be going into a cave that's open and seeing if we can get
Go
through
through
to
the
her from the other side.
Yeah, okay. That
Um,
makes sense to me.
Do you not want anybody to stay near the gargoyles just in case something happens?
Yeah, but how are we going to know? What are you going to do? Phone me?
Can I have a-
No, but we might be able to react a bit quicker. Is
You want
what I'm
this?
saying.
Oh, so leave somebody watch out here.
Or 2, I'd say.
I think.
But again, we can't really split up because
Yeah,
it's going to do more harm.
Then I'll pick us up one by one.
But- so the advantage we've got is as a group,
yeah,
we can help each other.
yeah.
I think if, and the nature of the way that this is going, I think if we split up and something happens to one of us, who's the healer?
We could both heal.
Yeah.
Really.
I'll be honest with you. I
Something
don't think there's any advantage with it.
I don't see an advantage at all. But I think we go this way and see because that feels too
Okay.
sketchy.
So these things are pointed towards her, but essentially, if we go that way, they will come and get us.
Yeah.
We're making the assumption that if we come this way, we can sort of drag her out this way,
Yeah.
right?
Possibly. I mean, she's got there. So either they've put her there,
As a trap.
or
And if they put her there, they may well have put her there this way themselves because they would have had to cross those.
well.
Maybe.
But the other thing is, we don't know that these gargoyles moved her. They could be guards,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and something else has moved her there. So this area, it seems like no goesville. The only other open option we've got is that one. So at least we know what's in here at the moment. Let's go and have a look down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a group.
Because we've got his axe, and that seems to do a good job. The last.
He's still got a few hit.
Yeah, me throwing myself at it worked too.
Yeah.
You go
Go
down.
So I need to get it to work, right?
Go on. Are we going in single file or are we? Because this is all broken in
Should we
anyway.
just do same file as we always did?
Going on a bear hunt.
Swishy, swishy, swishy.
You go
So
down
we're
into the
heading
cavern.
down
As you
here.
come into this cavern,
Yeah.
instantly you feel the kind of chill, like there's something really, really cold about the stonework here. You can see that there's a lot of skeletons around the outside. They're all, some of them are chained to the walls. It looks like people have been here for a very long time. This looks like some sort of prison oubliette or whatever,
Okay.
which is a bit disconcerting because the bars on the outside definitely look
No.
new. All the kind of chains and manacles and things that you see
Are
here are old.
So that would say to me there's another way in. Probably pretty difficult to get through. but there's another way in. Any weapons, any armor lying around? So
Make an investigation check.
20.
Oh, crack.
You search around the area and you find a few scattered gold coins. You find about 12 gold coins. Some of them look to be quite old. You find an area back here that appears to be caved in a long time ago. So you can see that there's some sort of tunnel this way, but there's rock fall. This whole area is geographically unstable.
Right.
There is a door here that has been formed. On the outskirts of the door, you see that there are two. It's a big iron door. It appears to have a lot of ruins, a lot of similar hieroglyphics to the ones around the outside of this temple here.
Right.
And there are two circular indents on either side of the door.
Amulet thing? Yeah. No.
Possibly.
There's writing all around the outside as well.
What language?
What languages do you speak?
I've got orc, goblin, giant, and common. Any of them?
It's not any of them.
Dwarfish, elfish.
It's Elvish.
Okay.
It says
So
here
can
the
I-
dragons.
I've got Elvish as well, and Goblin, and Common, and Druid.
It says there's three statements, in fact.
I wouldn't go that way.
This is This is a very old kind of Elvish, so you find it slightly difficult to translate. It's not a modern dialect.
Right.
Do you want to roll
Are
an
you free-
advantage on
yes.
this? So you can
You'd
can
be
roll.
better off.
Oh, both of you.
you can both roll.
Both roll.
Is it a D again?
13.
They're all D. You
Yeah.
can put a number off.
You can roll at advantage. So you roll it plus your intelligence.
19.
19.
Alright,
Plus
so-
my intelligence.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Where's my
cool.
intelligence?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
if you need to check.
0.
Okay.
But it says 10 underneath. What
That's
does that
what
mean?
it means that your intelligence is 10, which gives you a 0 bonus to intelligence skills.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, 19 anyway.
Written around in a kind of circular fashion around the outside in a figure of 8 around the two indentations. It says, "What is not alive but grows, does not breathe but needs."
What is not alive? Is it like a riddle? Is it a question?
It sounds like that.
It's the Riddler. The worst Batman villain.
What is not?
Does not breathe but needs air.
Depends if we're talking about Jared Leto's Joker's wallet.
Sounds like fire to me.
Ooh.
Yeah, it does.
Weirdly dragons.
Oh my goodness.
What like this gateway? Is it a hole that we can walk through, or is it bars?
No, there looks to be a solid metal door.
Right.
There are two circular indentations that go into the door.
Right.
You could just about place your hands inside them, and they go deep enough to place your fists inside them, in fact. The writing is around the outside of both of them.
Right, gotcha. Okay, so the doorway.
We should put him first, Mogar, if he's Dragonborn. No, if it's fire, we're going to be looking at.
Yeah.
He's going
Well,
to be
no,
the
that's
best.
just a guess. I mean, if anyone else can.
What if it's one of these switch things where you have like two torches, you have them fire, put them in the thing, and then that will open up the door? What was that?
You can try that.
So, you said there were 3 statements. What's the third one?
There are, if you look closer, there are 2 other statements, but they appear to be blackened and covered in soot. You can
Yeah, you're
try
right about fire.
you can try and uncover them.
Yeah, give them a bit of a clean.
You can read them too. There is no indentations next to them, but it says, one of them says, it has a golden head, it has a golden tail, it has no body. And the third said,
Coin.
better old than young. The healthier it is, the smaller it will be.
Better what?
Old and young, the healthier it is, the smaller it will be.
I think you're right about the coin.
Coin.
This is unstable, this end, yeah?
Yeah.
4 gargoyles that way.
Yeah.
The only other exit that we've perceived at all is through this door that's got 2 holes
That's
in it.
true, but beyond the gargoyles, there is a set of stairs that goes down.
But we would have to pass the gargoyles to
Yes.
get to it. So that looks like access rather than exit.
Oh, that is the escape route.
And you haven't done anything with the bracelet and the staff to try and.
No.
And there are two holes. 2 holes. Are they not for the bracelet and the
Well,
stuff?
that's
No, they're just circles, you said, didn't we?
your fist can go through. But can I have a closer look at the badger's amulet?
Yes.
Yes.
So is there anything?
Does it look to be exactly the same design as the one that she
Similar
gave us?
Design. Make a religion roll.
11 plus 1, 12.
12. This looks to be definitely reminiscent of religious iconography.
Iconography.
Iconography. But it is not the same as the temple. So this temple is something different. So you think it belongs to some sort of god, but you don't know which one.
Right. There's nothing written on it or any kind of.
There's no words written on it. No.
Right. And I'm not getting any kind of sense of magic, or is it?
No, it's definitely magical.
It's definitely magical.
Yeah.
Right.
Back to
Yeah. I'll give it back.
Okay.
Feels nice and warm to the touch.
My voice sat in your chair for a bit, and I was going to recreate that meme of the cat, and then Becky shooed her away, so I couldn't.
It's all Betty's
Do
fault.
we? Okay. We've got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So what's happened?
We're at this door. It has 2 holes in it that looks like you can put fists through. There is some sayings around it that we've read. One of them sounds like it's about fire. One of them sounds like it's about coins. And the other one, the last one, I don't honestly know because it was better old than young.
Better old than young. The healthier it is, the smaller it will be.
I are 2
Oh.
turns in there.
Say it again one more time, sorry.
Better old than young. The
Yeah.
healthier it is,
The
the
smaller,
smaller
it
it will be.
will be. Is that fire as well? Flame? A flame is better old than young if you're trying to be safe.
The stuff that I wiped off, did it look like just general dirt and grime, or did it look like soot?
It looked like soot.
It looked like soot.
blackened.
And did
A fire had raged through.
okay. And the doors, can we see hinges? Do they look like they swing towards us or away from us?
Oh, that's good.
That's a good question. It doesn't look like it's got any hinges at all. It just looks like the door is solid and goes into the.
Like, so it looks
It's
like it
not
could slide.
It also looks older than it looks as old as the rest
Right,
of
so
the
it looks like that's been there before.
Yeah.
Okay, so realistically, just thinking this through logically, if that's an access point to this dungeon,
Yeah.
the chances are it opens from the other side, or rather than this is a way through from this side, to
Yeah.
what's on the other side.
Hang on, did I see a hole? Sorry, pick up the dice thing. On the left.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a room there you haven't gone in.
Yeah, but we haven't got through here yet,
Yeah.
and we didn't go in there yet.
But
Yeah,
we
no,
could
there is a
potentially use
door
that-
there
We can
and
potentially
then-
use that to bypass.
It's a shortcut.
Okay, so at the moment we're just having a mooch around. So okay, should we go back and have a look in there then?
Also,
Yep.
Headball here, he can fly.
Yes, you can. But you're underground.
I didn't mean that. I meant, could he fly over this?
Yes, you could, yeah.
But we don't know if it's aiming straight or if it like
I just-
targets.
I was imagining him for his first trick would I go invisible, then I fly over there.
Yeah.
Ooh, what are you thinking about that?
Invisibility is a concentration spell,
Yeah.
so is fly. You can only have one concentration spell on at the same time.
Can we get Torrin to throw him?
Yeah, that's also. You go forward to that other door. That other door
We're coming
is a
back
wooden
here?
door. Yeah, it looks to have been put here fairly recently. The door is locked.
Has it got runes all around, or was it just
No.
locked?
It's so locked. Can we do perception to try and figure out what kind of wood it is?
It looks like
it.
oak.
It looks like.
Yeah, when you can look at it very
But I
closely.
can do. Oh, hang on. I have a spell for sense magic.
Is it a quiet spell that will open the door?
I have detect magic. So it's either just going to be able to do, or I'm going to look like an absolute prat, or it might be something. It might be a deception.
Oh, okay.
So what are you going to do?
You think it might not be a door at all?
You look very closely at the door, yeah? Roll perception.
You think someone's
I'm
put
just
a
trying
charm
to
on
think
the
what
door?
Yeah, perception. I don't think I'll use the spell at this point.
It looks like a door.
8 plus 5, 13.
Your teeth.
Sorry.
None of you
Thank you.
have any thief skills, do you?
Yeah, I do. Don't I?
You ever have any rogues?
Well, I do.
Yeah, like
You
that.
can try and pick the lock.
Oh,
You can look for Badger. He might be able to help you.
If we get out the fucking wolves.
excuse me.
What would it come under?
It's,
Sleight of hand?
No.
are you a rogue? You have rogue as one of your.
How would I know?
Uh,
No, I'm barbarian ranger.
No. Okay, so it would become under thieves' tools, which you won't have. So you'd have to do it.
Right. Okay.
Basically, roll a d20 and add your dex modifier. But because you are not trained in it, you probably do it at disadvantage.
Okay. Well, we'll give it a
You
go.
can give it a
I
go.
mean, there's nothing wrong with trying to pick a lock.
Nope. Yeah, you can try and pick it up. So
17.
you're going to roll that again because you're at disadvantage because you're not trained in it.
20.
17 plus your dex modifier, which is what, 3?
Yeah.
2? Oh, okay, 20. You've never done this before. Okay. But
The
you've
door
heard
open.
people talk about it. You've heard Badger talk about it once or twice. You find what appears to be from one of the broken iron manacles or whatever, a metallic kind of pin. And you kind of wiggle it in the lock, and there's suddenly a click. Beginner's luck. The door swings open.
Inwards or outwards?
Inwards.
Right.
Inside, you can see a kind of ruined. That bit is blocked off, so that bit is not open. It's a caved-in area.
That.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
caved in. But inside appears to be a series of barrels and chests and shelves, all stacked high.
Okie dokie. That's handy. Should we have a look in them?
Yeah.
Start looking around. This looks like to be foodstuffs, wine. There's some rope in here.
Does it look relatively new, or does it look like it's been there for?
All looks relatively new.
So somebody's
The
been
food
storing
is-
something here.
Well, the food looks. I mean, there's sort of dried meat. There's rations, biscuits. There's some bread here that isn't stale.
Okay.
It's
So there's
a
something that
pantry.
needs to eat, which is good. I need to eat, which is
Yes.
What are we thinking, guys?
I'm thinking.
But it's a box room. It doesn't appear to have any other exit.
It doesn't appear to have another exit now.
Okay.
I say we loot the place.
Yeah. Try and move the shelf where it's caved in. Try and see if there's a way to move it that's caved in.
Yeah. Only
Well, you want to try and dig away at the place that's caved in?
Yeah.
All right, make an athletics check.
Is it? Will there be any particular skill to it, or just?
Are you
like
going to
that?
get some help?
yeah, you might need some. I don't know, a dragon board.
Yeah.
To help.
Torrin, do you want to help Cavern tunnel?
Yes.
Okay. Roll with advantage. Roll again.
This is where it's a one.
Oi.
You manage, with the help of the dragon board, to dig into this area here. The kind of rock tunnels away, and you kind of dig away here, and you can hear a kind of
Badger?
I mean, it might be a badger.
Or badger dragon.
Is it? What language is it? Is it what I?
it doesn't appear to be speaking.
It
loud.
doesn't appear to be speaking common. Okay.
Right, so the good news is
You can just about crawl through if you want to.
I've dug a hole.
we've dug a hole, but there's something there.
Something.
Yeah,
Oh, shall I roll a torch through there to see if I can light it
no,
up?
back the thing up.
You throw a torch through, you see a pair of glowing red eyes in the darkness.
Don't.
There's something with horns in there.
Don't.
Okay.
You speak in Infernal, do you?
No.
Okay.
No, what are you on about?
I'm totally doing.
Let's chuck in some food.
Okay, it
Chuck it.
seems to devour
Fantastic. Back up. Shut the door.
it. Okay.
There's another door. Oh, that door. Yeah. Okay. I think we're gonna have to go past that to get to it. That was coming from around there.
Yeah, but it couldn't get through the other door. So it's
Yeah.
trying to escape, or it smelt food, so it's trying to get to something.
Let's just hope it's had a nice dinner and all full of sleep. I thought we'd get from
Well, Is it likely to be able to fit through the doorway that we've got through? You've just had a look
I
at
can
it.
already
How
see
big's its head?
It looks, his head looks to be about the size of a small little tunnel that you've made. So it's quite a big creature. It's not getting through the small tunnel that you've made.
Right.
You could crawl through. You wouldn't be able to fit through the tunnel. Neither would the dragonborn. Faust could just about squeeze his
Okay.
way through.
But we can't squeeze past it because its head's filling the space.
It's gone back a little bit into the tunnel when you've thrown food at it.
Okay. Oi, twiddly do. What should we do?
Where are we?
So our doorway with the circles is
Yeah,
over
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
We decided to come back
Yeah,
through
yeah,
here. Had a
yeah.
look, and I
knock
Guinness
that
lock. No, I didn't. I picked the lock.
down. Oh, very good. Well
I
done.
haven't done anything nasty yet. It's the new me.
You gentle you.
Yeah, being
Um,
the key word. I dug a hole
He
there.
dug a hole and found a dragon's head. Well, a beastie
Oh,
that looked fairly pissed off.
So they dug a hole and created a small tunnel.
yeah.
The tunnel's not big enough for the beast to come through.
But we can see that there's
Well,
one
you
down
can
there.
see that there is some sort of beast in there, and Jex has thrown the beast some food that happened to be in the storeroom. So the storeroom is filled with food.
So it's gone off to eat.
Well,
It's
we've
snarling and
we
back
chucked it
in
as
the
a
cave.
snack and it's backed off.
So essentially, she is covered from both sides now, right? So we've got her covered by gargoyles on one side, covered by a dragon on the other side. So
Well, we don't know it's a dragon, but it's
something that can do fire.
yeah.
Something with horns of red eyes.
What about our dragonborn here? Can he not take on a
I
dragon?
can't
No.
fit through the hole.
No, but can you talk to us?
Yeah, I speak Comic.
Can you talk to him?
I
Yeah.
suppose.
Oh, I might be able to talk to it. Oh, gotcha.
Oh, Badger.
Great. Where's gonna use your symbol? Just stop. Where is everyone?
All right, you can hear the sound of footsteps down there.
Okay, so let's all get back in the room and find Badger, shall we?
Oh, brilliant. Gotcha.
So should we offer Badger as a offering?
Why don't we have a little chat with Badger?
Ooh!
And go, Badger, we followed you.
Yeah.
Don't go down there. It's like a hall of mirrors.
Yeah, no, we saw that.
Scary.
Ooh. So where have you been for the past hour and a half?
I've just been going down the corridor and coming back down again. I can't seem to find my way out until now.
Well, yeah, you can get your fists through there.
Okie dokie. Well, tell you what, Badger. We've had a bit of a look. There's a staircase through that door.
Oh, no. Jex.
I hope Badger's got a twin brother.
Which one do you want to do? I think this one might be. Because that might endanger her.
Tell me you found a way out. I did see a room down there in the corridors as well. I couldn't get in. It was locked. I couldn't pick it.
Oh.
Well, if you... No, well, how big is Badger?
Badger is he's not that big. He's about human size.
Okay.
Could just about squeeze through there.
So,
Which one do you want to get him to do?
so
Why are you looking at me?
So whilst we've been looking for you, Badger, because you just ran off.
Thanks, Jason. I know I can count on you.
I'll tell you what we found. We found a room down there, which looks like a storeroom, and there's a little hole at the other side of that, but we haven't been down there yet. Through there, there's a stairway going up, but it looks like there might be some gargoyles in the way. We haven't really been down that way yet. And you know that room you were in first off? Did you see the door at the other end of it? Do you remember that? Did you have a bit of a poke around whilst you were waiting for us?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't get through that. I couldn't pick that either.
No, you couldn't pick that. What did you try doing to it? Did you try putting your hands on the circles?
No, you're crazy. Like some sort of mad mage has built this place. I'm not doing that.
Well,
But if
There's like magic traps everywhere.
So
I
how-
just came from the Hall of Mirrors. Oh, I think some people got stuck in the stone wall.
yeah, it did look a bit like that, didn't it?
Some sort of door there, but I couldn't open it.
Well, I'll tell
I
you.
just about found my way out.
I'll tell you what, Badger. I know a bit of Infernal, and I think
Never
I think
admit
it's
that.
just. I think if you put your hands on the circles, you'll be just fine.
Perception.
Plus 8.
Wow.
I was counting on a deception check.
Normally, I wouldn't listen to
But
a devil in a darkened place, but you seem to have a compelling manner about you.
That's why you
What do you
me.
think I should do? Do you think you've worked it out?
I reckon you should just put your hands on the circles. If it's a hole, just put them in there. I
that's
know
what
this
she
stuff.
said.
And you think it will open the door and get out of here, do you?
Yeah.
All right, let's go and have a look at that then.
I stand at the back.
You know what? I'll go next.
Hiding, Alan.
Yes.
We'll put the dragon board there. We'll just hunker behind.
Do you know what?
Everyone.
That's there. Can the door, does it have direct line of sight to black circle thing?
The door does not have direct line of light.
Okay.
It doesn't.
No.
Yeah, because you're thinking.
So what's direct? If something was to emanate from that in a straight line, where would it hit within this cabin?
Yes, it's a good shout.
It would hit just about where all you are. Where you are, it just about gets there. Where Badger's standing, which is right next to the door, it wouldn't get him.
Right, so if we were to sort of back it up a little
Yeah.
bit down here.
That's not suspicious
Badger is
at all.
looking at
No, Badger, I've got your back, mate. I'm right
Make
there.
a deception check.
What's on behind the shield? Going, right.
What am I looking for?
It's charisma skill.
What's your charisma?
Oh dear.
+0.
So 14. So I'm not too sure about this. This is looking a bit dangerous.
I hear what you're saying, Badger, but
I just got to put my hands in here and what?
and push.
I know this stuff. It's because I'm wicked.
He puts his hands into the stone.
I thought I had metal a minute ago.
Sorry, he puts his hands into the metal frame. What am I supposed to do? Just
push.
It's not doing anything. It's the door, the metal door around the edges starts to glow slightly.
Push
It's
on.
glowing.
That means it's working.
Push
All right, I'm pushing. Still pushing. It's no use. Oh wait.
Oh no.
I can't seem to take my hands off. It's stuck.
Have you tried twisting them a bit?
I can't move my fucking hands.
Pull!
Language. Oh no.
Remind me what these
Uh,
elvish runes said.
first one was fire. We thought
No, yeah, but what did it actually say? Can you read it again?
Yeah, so there's three.
not alive but
actually hear what the
grows.
It has a
Two,
golden head, it has a golden tail, it has no body.
So that's
What
one-
is not alive but grows, does not breathe but needs air. Better old than young. The healthier it is, the smaller it will be. You know, I'm not feeling that good. One of the three phrases starts to glow in a kind of arcane blue. And as it does so, Badger slumps to his knees.
Have you killed Badger?
It's
Karen
not my
did.
fault. No! I'm really suggesting things.
Ow! He pulls his hands from the. He manages to take his hands away from the two holes. They're bleeding at the wrist. He clamps both of them down.
Okay.
But the elvish bit says, "Better old than young. The healthier it is, the smaller it will be." Is glowing blue.
Right. Can I heal Badger?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you're gonna cast a spell.
Yeah, please.
Roll a d8 and add your charisma.
A D8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 plus charisma 4.
Okay. His wound closes up a little. It's looking smaller and healthier.
Hey!
Right.
What did I do wrong?
So
So was it
one of
blood
the three
thing or
statements-
something? Or is it life? I don't know. It seems a bit.
One of the
Whatever he's done,
It's
it seems to
done.
fulfill that part of the
Right.
arcane lock.
So what if we've got gold coin? We've all got gold coins, haven't we?
Well, there's a couple of gold coins lying around, you said.
There
weren't
is, yeah, there's a few gold coins lying.
Right, so let's just pick those up and Badger. Stick.
As you throw them in, the second phrase lights up in blue, and
Right.
you can hear a rumbling on the door.
Right.
Okay. Now, do we just? Because I thought flaming torches, but I guess if we've got a fireball, we just kind of breathe fire through it.
I think flaming torches. Why not? Or do you want to breathe a bit of fire at it?
I will. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad shout.
He just belches at them.
Right.
Okay, you force them all back, and you kind of take a deep breath in,
Yep.
and just release
Do you want
a
me to
jet
roll?
of flame. Now, you do an attack roll on the person, but the door's stationary.
There's 3D. Oh, it's
The door's stationary.
Okay.
So as you blow your fire into the door, and the whole thing goes up in flames, the whole door starts to glow, and the final phrase goes blue, and the door slides into the rock and opens up into a rocky chamber that was once, you can see bits of marble and stonework and pillars. You can see the remnants of tapestries. There's a huge gleaming pile of gold. There are swords. It seems to be like a
This is
mini
hoard.
treasure hoard.
This is.
And in the middle of that treasure hoard
oh no.
It's small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Dave.
is a bestial creature with horns and spikes across his whole body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is so big, it cannot get out of this chamber. How it survives, you have no idea. Cavern,
Does he recognise it?
Make
From...
a history roll.
Hello. How are you?
+1.
This is definitely a kind of demon.
Guys, it's definitely some kind of demon.
Is this the same horns and eyes and shit that he saw through
Yes.
Do you think this is the same creature, Cal?
He just seems to be looking at you at the moment.
Okay.
Ooh,
And he can't get out of that.
I'd try speaking in Infernal.
What would you say?
So,
Yeah.
so don't be a racist. What's
Yeah,
that?
that's right. You don't have to roll. What do you say?
I say, hey, how'd you do?
Why? No, why are you here? Are you trapped?
It's just growling. It doesn't seem to be making any move towards you or anything else.
Does it appear to understand that it's?
It's looking at you. It doesn't appear to be, it appears to be listening.
It appears to be listening as opposed to thinking I'm just making incomprehensible sounds.
He's growling, but you don't know.
Like,
Why or what?
He did seem to perk up when you spoke to him in Inferno.
What do you want?
okay, can we get past him? Is there physically room to get past him if we wanted to?
Yes,
Okay,
you could run past him. There is a passageway that leads into that other room.
okay.
It would depend whether he's not moving. He could leap up and try and stop you
Yeah.
passing.
I mean, I can
I'll
give you
maybe
an
pass.
advantage if you want.
I do not want to be invisible.
But ask him if we can pass, because rather we don't want to make
Can we
him
pass?
Make a persuasion roll.
+5. 17.
He says he's going to say something to you in Inferno.
only you.
That badger one
The
must
badger-
stay.
It's a badger
Pretty
tasty.
You want 5 for that?
He says this in Inferno. As he finishes this, he puts his hand down onto the stone floor and just rakes across the stone, easily cleaving into the stone.
And Tet's a no.
How much do we want badgers to stay alive?
I very much want that. What the?
Oh man.
Inside thoughts.
Yeah, it was an inside thought.
Is he going to share? Are you going to share with us what he said?
What did he say? Did he say let us pass?
One must stay, the rest may pass.
Oh, it's been nice knowing you.
Well, I wonder who that could be.
Ooh,
What?
that was an idea. Yeah. Ooh, hang on.
You're not going to leave a minor illusion of a
yeah. So, hang on. Quality in red.
Yeah.
Their bodies are still there.
Their bodies are still there, yeah.
Oh, this is
Are
naughty.
we going to weekend
They're
at
still
Bernie's
there.
this?
Let's yeet them at the beast.
That's a really good shout.
Yeah.
Yes,
Nick.
please,
No,
we
I
are.
like that. Okay.
That's gonna go for me.
You throw the
I
two.
switch we don't get that,
And actually,
and we.
hang on, there was still some life force in red.
Red is still groaning.
Okay, we
Poor Red. It's almost as if
we
he's
push
designed
Red
for this.
towards him,
Okay.
It's always as if his
And-
shirt.
and we push Red towards him, and I try and walk through that gap.
Make a persuasion roll, Cavern. With advantage. Okay, so
I'll try
10
that.
plus. Oh, yeah, you can try that. As you throw Red towards him, who's still lightly groaning, just about coming to consciousness,
I think I'm feeling a bit better, guys.
he opens his eyes, and this beast opens his jaws wide and devours him whole. The last thing he sees are this thing's massive jaws as they open up and consume him. And as he does so, the beast kind of rests by the treasure pile and just waits.
So
And
my
James
level,
moves past.
so I'm moving into.
Can I ask?
see what's there now?
Can I ask, does this technically mean that I reduced him to 0 HP?
Red, yes.
Oh,
I get another 11 HP!
No, because you already did that to him.
Oh, you,
I don't think that's quality.
you did that. Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Whatever.
Well, you're full health anyway, so it
You're
doesn't
full
matter.
health. You don't get extra health.
No, I was one away from full health.
Okay.
So that's just 10 HP wasted. You know,
got like little globules of health that you can pack onto like leeches or something. you know.
I thought it said I gained 10 HP. as well.
You gain 10 hit points when you send, because technically when you kill something, you send
Are we on
their
pause?
soul to your man.
Nearly.
Yeah, you have we're gonna pause. As you come closer, you can see Alexandra still on the floor. She's still she appears as if she's trying to lift herself up from a really heavy weight. And the gargoyles, as Jex approaches, how close do you get?
I can see her, but I can't see them, so therefore they can't see me.
All right, okay.
Well played.
So you come through there. Do the rest of you come through and join Jex?
Oh yes.
Okay. So you're
What bloody
all.
hell is this?
This is
What was
a
the thing you were
demon.
talking to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is the demon that Calvin
Yeah.
fed a soul to.
it was all right. He
Fed your
no,
assault.
I have to say,
No, what?
in a bit of inspiration,
Yeah.
he fed Red to it.
We're going to Badger.
Not Badger.
Also good.
I was
So you
trying
did
to
turn around in a room with Badger and go, do we want to keep Badger alive?
All right, let's call the break there. We don't need the map for this bit, so let's call the break.
You're gonna pause
I'm
Okay.
gonna lift the map up.
Oh, you want to lift the map up? Okay.
It's just a stream. Just a stream.
Yeah.
So we need the demon.
No, you have bypassed the demon.
So he's gone as well. All right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring
right.
the food in then.